whenever you meet people, especially religious people who are Christians or Muslims or Hindus or whatever, they always want to ask you, what do you do? What's your work? What do you do? And so I would always answer, well, I'm working on studying astrophysics, or I'm working, playing golf, or if I'm religious, I'm helping poor people, and we're always talking about my work, and then I'm asking about their work, and they're working out in Siberia. They're putting in water wells for the poor people, or they're putting in ways to get electricity from the sun so the poor villages can have electricity. So everybody's telling about their work. But the problem with that is, the greater my work is and the greater I have the ability to explain what my work is, I increase, and compared to others, I'm actually better. I'm putting in more water wells, starting more groups, winning more souls, discipling more people, and people are saying, Doug is just terrific. Look at all the work he's doing all over the world. It's amazing. And then I say, well, but Billy Graham, I'm winning 10 people every week, and he's winning 1,000. And another person's only winning one every 2 years. And many people that are leaders of the church haven't ever won anybody, and they don't disciple anybody. But then you meet a person that discipled. I met a person the other day that discipled 5,000 people last year. I mean, it's just astounding. And so, my work, I was only doing 50 a year, and he's doing 5,000. And, it's a huge, and pretty soon I've carved out a little niche of which I'm the leader, and I'm doing this work with the poor and the groups and all the good stuff I'm doing. One day Jesus was walking along with his friends, and they said to him, what do you have to do the works of God? What could I be doing that God would really be excited about to do that? And the amazing answer came from Jesus. Jesus said, this is the work of God, that you believe on the one that he has sent. That you believe on Jesus. That means that a washerwoman that makes beds and washes dishes at the Hilton Hotel can just be in her room, and while she's making beds and washing dishes, she can do the work of God all over the world. All she has to do is believe. Whatever she asks in prayer, believing, she'll receive it. But we don't even count her. I mean, we wouldn't even put her on the payroll to be the associate pastor or the youth director. I mean, she's just a washerwoman. I remember I had a mother. She prayed 3 hours a day. I thought she was a little weird, why would you do 3 hours a day? And then I met a guy that prays 8 hours a day for 50, 60 years, 8 hours a day. He's a graduate of Harvard. But he understood that the work of God is believing. And whenever I was with him, I felt like a pygmy, and in terms of understanding. And I asked him, he was 80 some years old, and I asked him one day, after 60 years of praying for over 8 hours a day, what did you find out that I need to know? What did you find out from Jesus? He was sitting like I am in a chair. He's kind of old, so he's, just kind of laid back. When I asked him that question, I'm telling you, it was like I plugged him into a 880 volt current. He became alive, and he just, what did I learn? What did I learn? I learned he's alive, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive. Do you know he's alive? It was like he became 18 years old. I mean, he was so excited. And that's the one thing he learned, he's alive. If you believe on that one, that's a work of God. I have many people want to know, well, who will take over and do what you're doing after you die? I'm hoping nobody. Most of what I did in the flesh. Some I did in the spirit. When I found out that the work of God is believing, I found out in the scriptures, there's nothing about my work. Why would I want it to go on? It's about his work. Everything that he does, you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to hire a guy. Jesus only needs one of you and one of me. He doesn't need 2 Billy Grahams or 2 popes or 2 anybody's. Any human being, if 2 or 3 meet in his name and agree with him and believe with him, he said Jesus will do the work. He'll have his Father do it for you. He loves to do it just like you want to work with your kids. If you have children, it pleases you to do the will of your kids. You want to help them. So if you're buddies with the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords and the maker of all the planets and the universe, and you say to him, make someone in Mongolia that can help the Mongolian people. If you have on your heart as what on his heart, and you do his work, and you believe on him, you say, Jesus, help those people down in Antarctica that, up in New Guinea that nobody has time to be with. When the Spirit comes on you and you do the work of God, believe on the Son, believe on Jesus. Jesus, the Son of God, Son of Man, the Messiah, the Savior, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. When you believe in him and on him, you are doing the work of God. If you're just sitting in your chair and you can't move because you're paralyzed, you can do work in his name all over the world because he does the work. You don't do it. The work of God is to believe on Jesus. And that is, you don't have to hire anyone. Jesus said, don't be a hireling. Just find someone that's like that and make friends with them, and you'll have them at your side the rest of your life. Be a gift of God to be around a person like that knows that the true work of God is believing on his Son, and his name is Jesus. Which is easier, to move the Rockies into the Pacific or change the human heart? You believe for some miracle you're going to live forever. All you have to do is receive Jesus and you'll live forever. I mean, you believe that. But you believe actually that you and your buddy could move them through the power of Jesus, move it in. So I'm telling you, the only limitation in following Jesus is you just don't believe him. That's the only. If I had my life to live over again, I'd just do one thing I have more than I haven't done. I'd just believe him more.